Y'all go ahead and get your hate out.
Yep.
Get all your names you're going to call me and get that out of your system.
Okay.
But for your information, I have been on 9 cruises since 1993. The ones through 2005 were not cheap.
Sure.
But they were very nice cruises. The people that worked the ship were nice. The people that were on the cruise were nice. You didn't go to the dining room dressed like you were going to the pool.
Uh-oh.
There was a certain amount of decorum required.
Decorum, class.
When you got up in the morning, you could go through early in the morning, because I was. You could go through the breakfast and get coffee and a donut. They had a continental breakfast that early. And then go to what's called the Serenity.
What she is doing right now is she is juxtaposing the decorum from the 1990s to the year 2025. And what she's doing is she's noticed the difference, saying, listen, the decorum that we are seeing today is non-existent. And she's referencing Carnival Cruises. She's saying, look, the people on these Carnival Cruises have no decorum. They're very classless. And their behavior is off the charts. And she's juxtaposing that to how people behaved in the 1990s. All right, let's continue.
Deck. And you could sit there and drink your coffee and enjoy the sun coming up. You couldn't do that on this last cruise.
Uh-oh.
Because they were still drunk from the night before. And the only place they could find to hide with their goofiness is on the Serenity deck.
Uh-oh.
The people on either side of us in the cabin were ridiculous. Their trash
Ooh.
stumbled out into the hallway. And I'm not talking people. I'm talking literal trash. They would go up to the bars, the buffets, and get plates and plates of stuff. And then just pile it on the floor outside their door.
Gee, come on, man.
There was no class. In the words of my grandfather, they had no couth. The fighting is what amazed me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you get to the point to where you are going on vacation, when you're going on a cruise and you are fighting other people on the cruise, that is egregious, because what you're doing is you are taking behavior that you are accustomed to in the environment that you come from, and you are bringing that energy, you are bringing that behavior, you are bringing that mindset onto a vacation, onto the cruise where people are going to enjoy themselves and relax. But you are taking classless behavior from a classless environment and bringing it onto a cruise ship and getting mad that the company or the brand is deciding to raise the standard. To raise the standard of conduct. This is unbelievable. These people expect Carnival Cruise to accept this behavior. Just because you're used to that behavior, just because you accept that behavior, doesn't mean everybody else has to. Doesn't mean everybody else wants to. You will either improve or you will get priced out. Say it again. You will either improve. You will either level up in your behavior, in your finances, in your decorum, in your etiquette. You will either improve or you will get priced out and left behind. Let's continue.
You're on vacation in parts of the most beautiful part of the world.
Yeah.
And all you can do is cuss, scream, and fight. Now, mind you, I met people on this cruise that were from a Baptist church somewhere up near Chicago. There was about 15 of them. I regret to this day not getting their names. I had such a fun time with those people. But I couldn't visit with them because of all the nonsense going on. And it didn't matter where you went on the ship. The nonsense. Now, I watched a lady's video today where she blamed it all on Carnival for dropping the prices. I don't know how much more you could insult your own people.
Facts.
That because they paid an inexpensive fare, that somehow excused them from their stupid actions? No. It's not Carnival's fault they lowered prices.
Sure.
What? It's ill-mannered, classless people.
Correct.
And while there may be a large part of it, one particular race, it is not race exclusive.
Sure.
But what amazed me is you couldn't go to the swimming pool deck ever from like 8 o'clock in the morning.
She said it's not Carnival's fault for lowering the prices. It is the fault of the ill-mannered and classless people. Now, I see this both ways. Because when you have a business mindset, when you understand economics, when you understand business, when you understand pricing, you understand why prices are the way they are. Why certain country clubs are priced the way that they're priced. Why certain events. Why certain sections at sporting events. Why certain sections at sporting events are priced the way that they are. Why certain suites at certain sporting events are priced the way they are. Why certain sections in clubs and venues are priced the way that they are. It's a filter. It is a filter. It is a barrier of entry. So, I agree. She's not incorrect. She's just incomplete. If Carnival had their prices at a certain number, there are certain people who would not be able to get in. There are certain people who would not be on the cruises. If Carnival had their prices set at a certain number, there would be certain behaviors that would not exist on their cruise ship. But also, yes, it is the classless behavior. It is the disrespectful people, ill-mannered people that have contributed to the degradation of Carnival's brand. So it's both. It's not this or that. It's both and. It's the pricing. But it's also the people. Let's continue.
Till 1 o'clock at night you couldn't go. Because it was bad. It was bad. So when I got back, I wrote Carnival a letter, told them I would be not to be sailing with them again because I did not enjoy my cruise.
Old people write letters still.
People take cruises to relax.
Sure.
They take cruises to have a good time. You go in the bar, have a few drinks, have a lot of fun.
Yep.
You come lay out on the deck by the pool, have a few drinks, enjoy yourself. Have a hamburger. Have whatever you want. But enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
You don't enjoy yourself on Carnival anymore.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't a short cruise. I was on a 7-day cruise.
Yeah, being on a cruise for 7 days and being exposed to fighting. Disgraceful music with disgraceful lyrics. Classless behavior. Drunkenness, trash, being piled up outside of the... When you have to be exposed to that for 7 days, you're not really going to enjoy your cruise.
So, I was planning on going...
Let's read the text. Birthday plans ruined since Carnival has decided they don't like when we get on there and be black. Any advice? My advice, stop saying be black. Because when you say when we get on there and be black, you are associating a certain behavior with a certain race of people. Be black. My advice, stop using that kind of language. Let's go to work.
On a Carnival Cruise for my birthday this year in December.
Yep.
And then I have a girls trip for May, and then a family trip for June, all on Carnival. And they have decided that they don't want to be the spirit of the seas anymore, and I just don't know what to do with that information.
Jesus.
I feel like we should just move to another cruise line. Royal Caribbean is a bit too bougie for the fun I'm looking to have.
Royal Caribbean is a bit too bougie for the fun I'm looking to have. Let me translate that for you. I'm priced out of Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean is not going to allow me to engage in classless and degrading behavior on their cruise. And I'm sorry to tell you this, my dear, but the only way to go is up. The only way to go is up. You just said Carnival is the spirit airline of the seas. I agree. It is the spirit airlines of the sea. You can only go up. Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, Viking, Princess, Virgin. You can only go up. She mentioned going to another cruise line. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go that they are going to allow you to engage in that behavior? Where are you going to go? And what's even more sad is that she wants to engage in this behavior. She wants to be classless. She wants to do this.
And MSC is way too boring. Do y'all have any recommendations for who we should switch to before it's too late? Should we go to Virgin? Do y'all like Virgin Cruises?
Better get your wallet.
Let me know in the comments, because
yeah, and see, all they're going to do is find another cruise and take that same behavior onto another cruise if they can afford it. That's all they're going to do. But I'm telling you, try it if you want. You can try it if you want. They're not going to allow it. They're going to price or filter you out. They're going to price or filter you out. Because these are places of business. Ultimately, first and foremost, these are places of business. And they will protect their bottom line. The perception of their brand affects their bottom line. So they will protect their brand. Meaning if they have to, they will kick you off the boat. They cannot have their customer base disappointed. Royal Caribbean's not having it. Royal Caribbean is not having it. Norwegian is not having it. Viking, Princess, they're not having it. Because these companies exist to make money. Businesses exist to make money. You cannot affect a company's bottom line and not expect for there to be consequences. These people better get their mind right. That is it for me today. I'll catch y'all in the next video.